Five.
Told you guys we had a surprise.
I done goofed.
You done goofed already.
Oops. Okay, you can start from the top there.
All right, start from the top. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Tech Things podcast. Scenery is a little bit different tonight. If you guys haven't followed us on TikTok yet, we are on TikTok now. Kind of gave everybody that was on TikTok a little bit of a heads up that we had a little bit of a surprise in store. We are here at me and Jake's church. Jake is walking up right now. We're kind of doing this whole stream thing by ourselves tonight. So Jake, wave to the camera.
Hey, I need to unmute myself now.
So welcome to Jam, everybody. This is me and Jake's church that we do the live stream from on Sundays. It's kind of how me and Jake kind of got hooked up together here, and we kind of gathered the idea for our live stream podcast. Kind of nervous, actually. We've done this, this is our fourth week now, and still kind of nervous, still kind of getting after it, figuring things out. But I'm glad we were able to do this and get together and be able to do this side by side for once.
Because we normally do it over Discord, and that's the only reason why you actually have Discord.
Yeah, it's the only reason I have Discord. So anyways, guys, welcome to Jam. Check out the website at jam.church. We'll probably have the link in the description later.
Yeah, later, because I completely forgot to do that.
So if you're watching us live tonight, come back, check out the link tomorrow. Or if you've seen our previous videos, the link is on any of those.
As always,
Yeah, so here we are. The whole episode tonight is basically going to be centered around what we do here at the church and what we do with our live stream here at the church, and kind of what tech is kind of involved in that. We started out with a little bit of nothing and kind of grew it to where we've got two 32 times zoom PTZ optics cameras. 30 times zoom.
Yes, 30.
I don't know what 32 stuck in my head for some reason.
I don't know. You just seem to say 32.
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of different things. We run Pro Presenter. We've got a cool little thing that we talked about last week, the A10 Mini Pro. thing is slick, and you guys will get to see a little bit more about that. So kind of getting into it, we're here on stage. This is kind of cool, and normally we're sitting back behind the booth, so we never actually really get a chance to get up here and do anything up here.
Which is, it's strange to like be up here, because normally like Dre's here and other people and...
Yeah, the stage seems a lot, it seems a lot bigger now that we're kind of sitting up here.
Yeah, and it's also terrifying to think that like on Sunday, there's maybe 40 minimum out there.
Yeah.
All standing, dancing, singing. It's terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, right now we're kind of talking to a room full of empty people because it's a Thursday night at almost 9 o'clock. But I can only imagine just looking back at the room here is huge. So props to Dre and the worship team. If you guys haven't checked them out yet, check them out. They're awesome.
Which I'm pulling up the chat because I want to make sure that everything's actually working.
Yeah, we've got
that would be embarrassing.
Yeah, we've got our handful of guys that watch us and make sure that we don't goof up on a bunch of stuff always. Let's get into it. We'll get to
Carl, what's going on, bud?
Yeah, so we'll get to the church tech here in a minute. So I was out mowing the grass the other day, listening to another tech podcast. Just kind of see what they're about and kind of get a feel for it, kind of see what direction we needed to go. And I feel like we're kind of on track, Jake. I feel like we're pretty good on track with how we do things. But one thing they talked on that's brand new, and I wanted to touch on it because I'm an Apple guy, but I don't know if this might be the one Apple product that I don't know that I would go after, is the new Apple HomePod. It's basically Apple is trying to go after the smart speaker market. And this is generally to compete with the Amazon Alexa, like Echo devices and the Google Home devices. So I feel like they're a little bit late to the game, but I feel like they're very late to the game. They had an original one, but the price was so outrageous and so little functionality that it was just almost it made no sense to actually get it.
Yeah, right.
So I wish we might come back and touch on this because I want to. Hopefully, might be able to get our hands on some of these at some point in time and be able to do a live comparison of them.
Right. But we actually did have Coral. They asked, don't they already have that? Speaking of Siri.
Yes. So Siri is integrated into this Apple HomePod. Where you have Siri on your phone, you have Siri on your Mac. But this device has Siri embedded in it, so it's not much of a difference there. But it's a Wi-Fi smart speaker. The original HomePod, which I think was back in 2017, I think is what I found. So, but it was outrageously priced at like $330 or something like that to get your hands on one of those. And that was back when Apple first started to try to push that the Apple Home Kit. Which there's not many devices because Apple does not play nice with others and doesn't really integrate well with other devices.
Right.
So now.
Yeah, Coral, definitely agree. Talking about Microsoft making a Cortana smart home.
I probably, since Apple released it, I bet you Microsoft won't be far behind.
Yeah.
Cortana hasn't been that interactive really. I use Windows PCs all the time, and I'm sure you can talk to Cortana once you actually open it up and run that command. Yeah. I've never actually tried really. It's one of those features on the Windows PC that you just kind of sure, you click it off, but you just kind of ignore it and set it to the side.
Yeah. Like I got a new laptop recently. I have used Cortana once. That was to set it up because I didn't feel like typing. Right.
Yeah. It's just yes, no, sure. Yes.
That's actually pretty much all that it was. It was literally just yes, no. It was.
Yeah. I think that's the only time I've ever actually used Cortana as well. But but look for the future. That might be what's next in the smart speaker industry from Microsoft. Come on, Bill Gates.
Yeah, Bill Gates. I doubt you're watching, but maybe it's a miracle if you are. You Cortana smart home, please.
Yeah.
Not that anyone would use it.
So back to the Apple HomePod. The new one that they just basically just name dropped it and gave us a price drop on it is like $99. So that competes with the larger. It competes with the larger smart speakers like your Google Home and your Amazon Echo, the full size. Those are both, those are right around the $100 mark. So Apple's competing with them now. So the one thing I wanted to touch on is that you're about to see a flood of Apple HomeKit enabled devices.
Right. Yeah.
Security systems, lighting, all those different kind of devices that you already see with the Echo and Google Home devices. So those will probably be coming soon, if not by the end of the year. Not sure what's in store with that. I haven't. The frustrating part is I want to be able to use the HomeKit, but like my security system, my cameras and stuff, none of that actually works with the HomeKit because of Apple.
Right.
Either that or Apple has just made it that difficult to actually make it work. So hoping that maybe they loosen up the reins a little bit and I can actually integrate my current devices that work with Amazon Alexa or my Echo devices with my Apple HomeKit. Now, freezing up on me, Jake. So hopefully that comes in store soon. That'd be something pretty slick. I just wanted to touch on it, let you guys know it's out there. Let us know where you stand. Are you an Echo? Are you an Alexa enabled device person? Are you a Google Home person? Or are you one of them Apple dedicated people who's just been waiting for this HomeKit stuff to finally get around the corner? I know Apple's been pushing the HomeKit. It's been an icon on the device for a long time. But with this new iOS 14 update, it's actually the HomeKit and Scenes is now actually on my. If I swipe the whole way to the left, it's actually a big old notification thing right there, and I can't move it. So
really?
It's there. So it's coming.
So they're like,
They're teasing.
Phone user must use that. And Coral, thoughts on the iPhone 12? We will bring that up in a.
We can touch on for a brief second here.
We got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Generally.
Brief second here. We got people asking for stuff.
Let's send it.
Give the people what they want.
Or else we would have like the podcast revolution or something.
Yeah. So the iPhone 12, I don't feel like it is much different than the 11 Pro. Price is about the same. It uses the OLED screen. I think it beefed up on the processor a little bit, but other than that, it's not really much different.
Except for the actual case, which is one thing that I really like about it, is that it goes back to the more like original, like it's kind of based off of like the iPhone 6, I believe.
The boxy, aluminum wrapped corners and stuff like that.
Except for the 12 Max or 12 Pro or the more expensive one.
Yeah.
Is done with stainless steel, and it looks so nice.
Yeah, I was in the market for a new phone recently. I had dropped mine, and it swelled up and was all bubbled up, and was getting ready to explode in my pocket.
as we've talked about before.
Yeah,
and why iPhone's just bad.
So I was getting. That's the only one I've had ever do it, and that's because I dropped it and it got ran over a couple times. So I was really torn because I knew the new one was going to come out, but I wasn't sure because of COVID. If it was going to be coming out anytime soon, and of course the week after I get my phone, they finally drop it, but it was kind of a saving grace because I didn't want to spend like $1,200 on a phone, and it was something that I actually got the iPhone 11 for less than what I was paying for my XR for. So financially, it was worked out better for me, and I got a phone's a phone. You get a new one within the basically I call it the trifecta, the 3 year span. So if you kind of drop right in the middle of it, you're in pretty good shape.
Coral actually makes a very good point, saying that Apple feels like a monopoly. The fact of they go from no headphone jacks to making you have to buy the AirPods or some other Bluetooth headset, and then also now something that doesn't come in the box now is the wall brick, is the AC adapter.
Yeah.
And they aren't using USB-A anymore, which is weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It's strange to me that they went that way. But there was some kind of poll, and they did a lot of Q&A on it. When's the last time? I mean, you're not an Apple user. I can't tell you the last time that I actually used a pair of the headphones that came out of the box. If anything, the headphones that come out of the box get handed off to the kids. I've
had that happen many times, but that's another thing. Apple earbuds, it's like this teardrop shape that just weren't very comfortable.
I mean, I've never had any kind of discomfort with them.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to try the new AirPod Pros.
Yeah.
Yet, but they look really comfortable and look really form-fitting. So I haven't got a chance to try those out yet. I'm hoping for a little. If my wife is watching, Christmas present.
Yeah.
Get
them as AirPods Pro.
Or if any of our viewers really feel that passionate about us, Christmas.
Yeah, please. If you want to do that, we will open up a PO box just for that.
Yeah. So back to the wall block. With the wireless charging.
Who really needs it, right?
The only time I use a lightning cable anymore is in the car. In the car for CarPlay. But now with CarPlay 2.0, I forget, is it 2.0 or it might be 4.0? I think that I'll forget. The newest CarPlay that went in with the iOS 14, rolling out soon in the cars, will be wireless, a wireless CarPlay. Some have already been able to do that. So there's the wireless CarPlay capabilities now also.
But the question is, do you need to go out and buy a new car for this, or is this like it goes over Bluetooth type thing?
Goes over Bluetooth. And I think your newer model cars, I think 20. If you've probably don't hold me to this, viewers, but I think 2018, 2019 vehicles might be able to have a firmware update to that computer board. So when you go in for your next oil change, you're like, hey, is there a firmware update for my radio display, and see if you can't get on that new Bluetooth CarPlay. But
moving on to our main topic.
Moving on to the main topic, because we only spent 15.
We actually spent about the right amount of time.
Yeah.
Or not right amount of time, but
we didn't have a whole lot to say about the HomePod because there's a lot of unknowns about it.
Yeah.
So
because they are playing a bit of a PlayStation here with releasing nothing but name and price.
Yeah, and
release.
They gave with the HomePod, they gave kind of the specs, like speakers, and they said there's going to be seven microphones in it, so you can get full 360.
That's not bad.
Yeah, full 360, better hearing enabled for.
I do like the hearing enabled, but so kind of here's what I'm imagining whenever I hear full 360 audio. So we're gonna be able to hear the rats in the walls.
No, I mean generally these AIs is what generally what they are. These AIs have become pretty well smart to know when it's a voice recognition, kind of a voice recognition thing.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm just saying most of these smart devices are marketed to be put in the corner, not really seen type thing.
Yeah. And that's what makes me like question the 360 sound. I mean, unless you've got that kitchen island in that open floor plan kitchen with the huge island in the middle with electrical outlets. There actually one thing I did find out when I was reading about it or listening, that they can actually they did the 360 sound because they thought people might actually mount them up on the ceiling and drop an outlet in the ceiling. Like, so it's not unheard of. I've actually in some of my time being in the electrical field, I've put outlets in ceilings for lights and speed.
Right.
I mean, you've got houses now that have ceiling speakers. I'm sure you've been in a house that has ceiling speakers. I wouldn't be surprised if the Doug has it.
I don't think I have rich enough friends for that.
You didn't,
or maybe I do, and they're just really hard to notice.
Yeah. But yeah. So I've been in places where you've ran outlets in the ceiling for specific lights or fans and things like that. Or even better, like fishing out high outlets on the walls for TVs. So it's not uncommon to think of it's not going to be hard to. I mean, if you look up at the ceiling here, our projectors have outlets right above them.
I mean,
in the ceiling.
I mean, we can't. Cameras probably can't.
But yeah, I mean, well, I'm just.
Yeah.
For general purpose, there's outlets and power ran to these.
We have outlets.
They're probably ceiling. They're probably up above the drop ceiling.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the general idea behind the 360 sound is actually being able to drop them in the middle of the room on a ceiling with an outlet.
Which, and here's just a theoretical thing. If let's say some of the ceiling fan or ceiling lights partner up with a company or not with a company. But let's say partner up with Apple, it would be stupid expensive, but have it be able to actually be mounted, have it come with it already into the unit.
Right. So sorry, that was actually Pastor Randy that texted me, seeing how the live stream was going. I was hoping he might actually show up here. We might have our first special guest come through eventually here.
Yeah, hopefully. I think this episode, it might just become answering questions and stuff.
Yeah, what's the next question?
Samsung Galaxy Note 20 has an 8K camera. How does that camera compare to others in the market? I'm not into tech stuff. This podcast is getting me interested in it. Well, Coral, hopefully you do get interested in tech. It's very, very fun. But an 8K camera compared to your 1080p, possibly 4K camera.
They're all fine and dandy when you can get something else to display the 4K, 8K.
Right. Like I have a 4K, I believe 30 frames a second video camera. Nikon D7500. Amazing camera, but until I recently upgraded graphics cards.
Right.
I couldn't even I couldn't even import said footage without it completely slowing down my PC, and I actually had to downgrade it.
Huh. Interesting. So, moving off the hot tech here, Coral, we will. If you keep flooding us with questions, we'll have to make an episode all about you and your questions, and we are all for that. So keep them coming.
Join our Discord. It should be in the description. If it's not, Coral, we know each other, dude. DM me. I'll send you the link on Discord, dude.
So we gotta get kind of moving into our main topic here. Jake, if you want to go ahead back there and get set up, we're actually going to move back to our actual sound booth where we kind of do all the live streaming and everything.
If we had a camera guy, they would be tracking me all the way over here.
So we've kind of got
to your side. Zach, entertain them.
That's the plan.
Okay, so now we are back in the sound booth. You guys are here. I will now pull the chat up here. Yes, big change.
So welcome to our stomping grounds every Sunday morning. So back here is where we spend all of our time Sunday mornings from about
Wednesday night.
Wednesday nights, and we put a lot of time in back here and behind the booth.
Behind the booth, I like it.
Yeah. So so basically let's kind of backtrack here on kind of how we started out. So
I'm gonna step here behind you and
Yeah, go
grab.
ahead.
I'm gonna grab the box.
yeah. So basically,
As we call it.
basically, because of COVID, we had to figure out a way to our motto here at church is reach, love, and lead. So when COVID hit and we couldn't hold people in the sanctuary here, we kind of had to figure out a way to do things and still reach the community and spread the word. So so Jake here actually put a lot of work in before I kind of came along and got our live stream set up. I mean, he was already kind of streaming on doing the gaming streaming and kind of knew a little
So for the first time in
bit.
forever, I can say it was before your time.
It was
Yeah.
it was this whole streaming and cameras and everything was kind of beyond me. I mean, I'm a camera guy. That's what I do for a living: hang cameras, install software, and do
I'll
all
be right
that.
back. Hang on. I'm
so-
thirsty boy, as always.
So we kind of had to put a bunch of things together real quick to kind of keep the whole thing moving. How did we start out, Jake? Did we start out with one? We started out with one camera, or were we just kind of pre-recording messages and sending it out at first?
We started out. So previously, I had been recording on actually the camera that is being used now, which is on the tripod there. I'm going to come up here in front of you. We started. Am I unmuted? Yes. Cool.
So
how did we start? What were we talking about?
how we started, how we first started when COVID kind of hit.
So whenever COVID hit, Pastor Andy, my father, and I believe one other person had been talking. How do we do this? How do we start streaming? And what's up in the tech booth? We can show you what's all kind of going on here in a bit.
Yeah, we can pull Jake's camera down once we kind of at the end we'll kind of give you guys a little rundown.
How does the PowerPlay mouse pad work? I have no idea. I will research that and I will talk to you on that. Also, Jathy is a team name that I still go by for competitive games that me and him play on a team together. So
Gotcha. Okay.
So-
Makes sense now. Makes sense.
so if he calls me Jathy or Spartan or Jake or whatever,
That's where it comes from.
yeah.
So basically we kind of started off pre-recording and then we started figuring things out where we actually grabbed a camera.
So basically, Pastor Randy went out and bought I believe 3 Elgato HD 60Ss. Dude, you can call me whatever you want. Actually, not anything, because yeah.
PG here, guys. Keeping it PG.
Yeah. But then we started using the HD60S, right?
It was the HD60S game capture cards. And Jake, go ahead and swap the camera over for us.
I'm gonna have to focus it real quick.
Yeah.
Turn into autofocus.
Right there. That's good. So,
turn this on.
yeah. So right here we've got one of our Elgatos, the HD60S capture cards. So basically, it has an HDMI out.
Can you make it so the camera can actually see it?
Nope. So, yeah. So we've got the
focus for us.
yeah. So we've got an HDMI in, USB-C out, and that's what we would run into the PC. Basically, that's allowed us to take our HDMI cameras and run them to OBS Studio.
And also, and my head's being chopped off, so I'll step down right to here.
So what you're seeing here, that's for later.
Yeah. Kill it. No, off. Press off. Kill it.
So
Okay, Unicorn Master. Why did I say you would call me anything?
So what you saw there, we'll talk about here in a second. Yeah, so that's kind of how we started. We started kind of
There was also something called the Focusrite Scarlet, I believe.
Yeah. So
which takes XLR, allows you to mix it a little bit more.
Yeah. This is basically how we got our audio into the live stream.
Which is this here very beautiful box, takes 2 XLR inputs, allows you to monitor, as well as tune left, right, and take, I don't even know what that is, out, as well as USB-C out. So that's that.
Yeah, so that allowed us to take everything from our high-tech soundboard and be able to mix it and push it out to the live stream. So we kind of threw all this together really quick, and it worked for a while, and we started kind of running into some power issues, and some audio dropping and whatnot else. So from the get-go, we always wanted the PTZ optics cameras, and finally now, what we 6 months in, about 6 months in, we were able to finally get two of these.
Started in like March.
Yeah, so we were finally able to get 2 of these PTZ optics cameras set up and hooked up. We've got one mounted from the ceiling over here. We've got one mounted on the wall that's looking at me.
Y'all.
Yeah, so
we have one mounted there.
It's not you weren't showing.
Oops.
So we've got one kind of mounted up on the ceiling on a pole,
which is just
awesome. We have a local welding company that hooks us up with all of our metal.
And the other one there.
Yeah,
it's the black thing.
Yeah. So Brown's Welding here locally in Waynesboro kind of hooks us up with all of our metal bending needs, and they do a great job at getting us what we need as fast as we need it. So once Jake gets his camera kind of rocking and rolling,
being dumb today,
we'll get into the A10 Mini Pro, which is basically just kind of made our lives so much easier, from what used to work as like a 4-man crew to run on the live stream has now gotten it down to where me and Jake just kind of alternate off back and forth each Sunday on who runs the live stream. Sometimes we're feeling frisky, we play rock, paper, scissors. So
if my tripod will work.
Yeah, so
now we're in focus.
Yeah.
This is the A10 Mini Pro. I'll grab our box here, which is I pressed the bad button.
Yeah, you pressed the bad button there. So you got to try to figure out the best camera angles here.
And focus. A10 Mini Pro.
Yeah, so like I was saying, this thing has basically saved our lives and made things so easy.
There we go, A10 Mini Pro. Okay.
So Jake, you kind of know all the specs on this here and love talking about this thing. So
oh boy, do I ever!
So I'm gonna let you jump in and go to town on it.
Awesome, thank you. Who's texting me? Okay, Carl, I'll respond to you in a second.
So
I will leave this here.
So leave up, look at the camera, talk to the people.
Camera's over here. This is down here. Perfect sense.
Step over here. Your head's cut off.
Thank you.
I'll step this way.
So we have the A10 Mini Pro here, which is seen here.
We're trying. We're doing our best. Hey, and like we always say, no matter the screw ups, this is as real as it gets.
Yeah.
And
so this is a phenomenal thing. It allows us to take 4 total inputs, as well as do some different stuff. You can press a button here, which will fade us to black. Auto, which will swap cameras, takes us to our stage. You can then also press a button here, which is the one above the cut, a bit above that, which allows us to do a picture-in-picture as we are doing here. And we will move into the software here in a little bit, trying not to cut myself in half. Green here is the prepped screen, which allows us to do whatever. Here, I'll just go full screen on the ATEM. Just make it easier.
Yeah.
So this is the ATEM. It's really bright, all flashy and stuff. There's no possible way for you guys to actually see it. It's really sad because it would be awesome if you guys could see it.
I guess I could flip a light on for us back here, huh?
Yeah, Zach.
While we're
Yeah. Okay.
trying not to blind you guys while I do it, but yeah. So
I'm gonna darken it a bit so you guys can actually see it. So right here is gonna be input 1, input 2, input 3, input 4. Just allows us to swap our different inputs. Yeah,
you're not gonna be able to see the screen.
That's sad.
I mean,
but
I could be the cameraman for you if you want me to.
Yeah, be cameraman.
So.
That's just yeah.
I'm gonna grab the whole thing.
Pick it up.
Yeah. I was tilted.
Yeah. So we now have camera reception with multiple hands.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry. If you can't tell, I get distracted very, very easily.
So if you guys follow us on TikTok, like I said, reach out to us on TikTok. I did a little sneak preview of our setup here, and we've got a bunch going on.
Yeah, we have a stream coming in here. This is where we do our stream out to Facebook. So let's go on to actually what this ATEM can do and the features of streaming, recording, stuff like that. That's a pretty important thing. No, you're not on the thing there. You gotta rotate. Yep. There we go.
All right. So let's get us back to where we're. So let's go.
2. Auto. Then that.
And then. So you're gonna stand right here.
Don't knock that down. You knock that down, I kill you.
Yeah. So.
All right, Coral. But then yeah, we'll be going for probably about another 15, probably longer.
Yeah, probably another 25, 30 minutes or so.
Which is going to, which you can actually stream it and record. You can stream by hitting the on-air button, which I'm not going to do because people would be unhappy.
Or we still got the stream key for the jam YouTube on there.
That would not be good. You can also start recording if you have a USB thumb drive plugged in, which we don't, which you do through the USB-C port. We have that running into our PC. That's what that's called. Sorry, I'm
a little frazzled.
You want to talk about that now, don't you?
So I know I have mentioned it about how it made our life easier, and I know you've enjoyed it too, being able to have a couple weeks off. Because I mean, there for a while, man, we were.
Dude,
it was all of us. It was all of us every week trying to do. All of us doing two. Each of me and Jake were doing 2-3 people's jobs on a Sunday by ourselves, and it was interesting to say the least. So, and
our camera's bugging out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's because I keep stepping up and down on the thing. So if I step over here a little bit and actually look at the camera.
Yeah, let's look at the camera now.
and not actually stare at the screens.
And so let's stare at the camera and not ourselves. Got
right.
it.
Yep. I mean, as good looking as I am. So. Back when we had Jake's camera, which you guys can see, right here.
It's this magnificent thing that you can't see because there's a pole there.
Yeah, so when we had that one, and we had another Canon.
It's like a Canon Vixa HA
something or other, but yeah, camcorder,
Yeah.
HD camcorder.
Yeah,
We'd have to
Need
have
to set up.
yeah, we'd have two people on the cameras. Then one of us would be back here on OBS, and we had a person over on Pro Presenter,
Which is back a little bit.
yeah, which is back on our Mac, which is basically how we get our overlays and our
Lyrics, et
our
cetera, et
lyrics
cetera.
and scripture and everything on
Which-
the live stream.
It's not even open, so I can't even show you what it does.
Yeah. So I heard a door shut. I think we got a surprise for everybody again.
Dude, tonight's just the night of surprises.
Night
and
of
questions.
surprises. So it's been a blessing to be able to get our hands on one of these things and go to town with it. Because now it's just we have one person sliding
We're
through
down
screens.
to a two-man team from a 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, sometimes
Five.
5-man team.
Yeah, we were able to run the PTZ optics cameras straight from the PC, which has been nice, and basically be able to swap back and forth on
I'm actually
cameras.
gonna come in here and show them that because we can actually do that now. Because I did a desktop capture.
Desktop capture.
Desktop
Yeah.
desktop capture. So this here is our program.
You don't have. Where's the cap? You
Yeah, I have OBS there, but
okay?
it creates endless loops.
Gotcha.
Keep chat up here because
That way people can see what
yep.
what the
chat's nice.
yeah.
We love you, chat. Which we have here. It's fairly basic. You have cam 1, cam 2. This I was messing around. It's bugged. Not bugged. It's actually what I expected it to do.
So we have our 9 presets to be able to catch each person on stage, as well as our preach settings. Where
Yep.
once preaching starts, it kind of locks in, and we can kind of kick back and relax until the scripture starts going on. Then we gotta actually jump in on the macros.
Which I'll have you know, I'm actually working on doing something even better.
Nice. Okay, we'll find out on Sunday. We'll have to do another church talk about it.
Yeah.
So,
Hi.
hey.
So, I'm
What's
watching
going
this
on?
Live stream, and you got all my stuff.
Okay.
So we hijacked the church. So for you guys who
hang
don't
on.
know, this is Pastor
Let's go.
Randy.
Here's Pastor Randy. We should probably let's pop up Draley's mic or Draley.
Really?
Yep, Draley.
Actually,
I was looking at
the reason I
presets.
was hollering so loud when I walked in the door was because your guys' mics are picking me up actually pretty well.
Yeah.
So we do have.
Yeah. Turn you on as Dre.
But anyway. So,
Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you. This is nice. So anyway, let's make sure we kill the effects because that would have been that'd have been something. So I am Pastor Randy here at Jesus Alive Ministries, and these guys are not only a lot of fun to watch on this YouTube thing they got going on, the tech of things. But they do a fantastic job back here. I know I was actually listening on my way in, and Zach mentioned that when COVID hit, we didn't have a way to reach outside the 4 walls of the church because we did not put the time into it, into developing something like this. So literally in a week, Jake kind of led the charge and started talking OBS and DPZ and MCRs and CIA and the cameras
FBI.
and so we borrowed his camera, ran a
is seen
cable
here.
and actually put it together in a week, and it was fantastic, and so it was awesome. And then Zach has joined the team here, although Zach and I actually work together outside of here. I'm a bivocational pastor. But they've done some really cool stuff, and some of the things they were talking about, and talking about the new ATM Mini Pro and how much work that's taken off of their shoulders. It's been fantastic, and so just me wanting to chime in here for a minute and say, if you're a small church, I mean, we're a small church. Now that COVID's, well, it's not over, but we're over it. and back to service. We on a full Sunday when everybody shows up and brings a friend, we're about 120, so we're not a large church, and we started with a refurbed computer from Amazon, a borrowed camera, an HDMI cable, and an Elgato that we had to run all over planet Earth to get, because you couldn't get anything when this thing first started. Everybody just went out and bought it all up. And so we started with that. And then over the last 7 months have been able to get PTZ optics cameras. These things have a 30-time optical zoom. That camera that I'm looking at now, which is almost to the back of the room, can zoom all the way in over the drummer's head and see the head of a screw in the wood behind, for our backdrop. I mean, they're amazing cameras. And so we did that. And then we were able to buy another one of those, and then even did the Browns Welding shout out. Good job, Zach. And so yeah, it was little incremental steps, and they just kept working it and never gave up on it. We had some Sundays where our live stream was complete trash. We found out our internet speeds were terrible. So you learn things, but you don't give up on it. You just keep chipping away. And so keep watching this podcast so that you can learn those little things that they're learning along the way. And anyway, I thought I would stop in, and I don't know where you guys are in the whole production and how this all came together. I could talk a little bit about the soundboard and the way that we're pulling that over. I love this thing. It changed our lives in here. So as you guys are kind of getting your stuff moved around.
Dude, I think we can do this.
Get it over there?
Here. And I gotta unlock it. Oh, it's actually unlocked. So yeah, we can go there. That's close enough.
All right. So what we did here is we bought. We used to be analog like everybody else, and that thing, thank the Lord, died on us, and so we went with an Allen and Heath QU32, which means it's a 32-channel board. It is an all-digital board, so I can recall scenes. Every Sunday morning we come in, and I'll just log in, hit the scenes. I'll recall the scene that we use called Sunday, and it puts all of the sliders exactly where we want it, so it's super consistent. Now, that did mean that we had to threaten to break the guitar players' fingers if they kept turning up their amps. And so once we kind of got everybody to leave their stuff alone, it's super consistent week after week. So what we did for the live stream output is, like if I go here to the room, you notice the sliders just moved. This is how I'm mixing the room in here. Now we're using acoustic drums and guitar amps, and so there's a lot of stage volume. Over here on the side, I actually have all of these different mixes for like monitor mixes. So I used mix 7 and 8, which is a stereo mix. So when I hit that button, you should actually see the sliders move. And then what that is this is actually the OBS or the live stream out. We were using OBS exclusively. By going to the ATM Mini, it's now actually allowed us to go to YouTube and Facebook simultaneously without paying for another piece of software to do that for us. So that was another nice thing. But as soon as I go to the OBS mix, I can now control everything that's going to our live stream without messing with what's happening in the room. And that's really cool. And one of the ways we do that is my office is just across the hallway, so I'll pull up the live stream and have it playing in there because I got a decent set of speakers for that. And then I can make incremental adjustments if I need to. But after a couple of weeks of going back and listening to the live streams, you can get it really, really close, and then you know by who's leading. I just go in here. If Haley's going to lead a song, I just turn her up a little bit on the live stream, and then I can go right back to the room. The next song, if that's going to be Dre leading, I just go back here, pull her back, and push him up. and I can get it really, really close here. And then I also always have friends watching the live stream, and they text me if something doesn't sound right, and I can make the adjustment then as well. But this having a stereo output out of your soundboard to your live stream and being able to mix it completely separately is really the best way to go. If at all possible you can do that, that's how you want to do it. We put in a room mic that's hanging from the ceiling here as well, just to kind of give that live stream some of the ambient room so it doesn't feel quite so canned. And actually it's gone really, really well.
Yeah.
I think. What do you guys think?
It's definitely gone very, very well from a streaming aspect, as well as from like just cameras, audio, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we've definitely spent a lot of time tweaking it and playing with it, and I was just kind of texting Jake, yesterday about it because we were supposed to meet last night, but we didn't. Worship practice got canceled, and said, we've kind of done a lot of tweaking. We were kind of to a point where we were finally pretty happy with it. Now, come Sunday, and then we'll be like banging our heads off the table, like, oh, we should have changed this.
I cannot confirm or deny if this is actually a true statement or not. I'm just here to. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I've pressured you guys about and is watch the live stream and look for things that we can change. Look for that better camera angle. I mean, one of the issues that we run into is with lighting, is we have the lights in the room off and just all of the other lights, and you guys started up there on the stage, and it took a little time to figure out how to get those lights right, because cameras see color a little bit differently.
Yeah, right.
And so I remember the 1 week I wore a white shirt with had little black spots on it, and when we pulled up the lyrics, the lyrics got lost in my shirt. And so you learn things, but you just should never be satisfied with your product. Always looking at how it can be a little bit better. The guitarist Dre is 5'4", and the guitarist that stands behind him is 6'6", and he's on a piece of the stage that's 2 feet higher anyway. And so we learned camera angles, to not cut Luke off at mid guitar.
Yeah.
And so you just look at what you did and you make notes, and the next week you do it a little bit better, and every once in a while you do something that's horrible, and you learn from it and you laugh about it, and then you do something different the next week. So but yeah, it's been awesome. The things that we've learned, I mean, I've learned a ton because I didn't know anything about this stuff, but I've seen you guys then grow a lot from not being afraid to try something and messing with, with the cameras and the colors and the timing. I mean, that was a real treat to get it to where when the drummer hits the snare drum, it's timed perfectly with the camera, because that took a little bit of work.
Because probably Wednesday nights, that was probably one of the biggest. Going for a mint.
Going for a mint.
Because that's also another thing back here, is we just have a bowl of mints that just people just come back here and grab them, which is just weird.
Very popular place to be.
Yeah,
right?
they get down like candy.
Yeah,
so.
which we then, whenever we're 60, we'll pay for.
Nah, that man's have fresh breath.
But on the topic of the audio delay, because we were using DSLRs, they process video a lot slower than what the board does. So it's not a huge difference, but 3 to 4 milliseconds.
You could probably even see it on this camera.
Yeah, it's actually it's not as bad, but it definitely is there. I said milliseconds. I meant to say frames, which is each frame shooting at 60 frames per second is 66. It's like 66 milliseconds, I think, is a frame.
I don't know.
66 or 33.
I'll have to get another mint and tell you later.
Check the data book. Where's the data book? Who stole my data book?
So the idea, though, the only thing I'm trying to convey here to all of your watchers and listeners who are wondering who this
weird
oaf
voices.
is don't give up on it. Don't worry. You don't have to have everything. We didn't have anything out of the gate. We had a borrowed camera and a refurb PC, and we went for it. And because as Zach said earlier, our motto is reach, love, lead. We want to reach people, love people, and lead people to hope and faith in Christ. And so it's hard to do when the government says you can't meet together. And so we pushed closing the church about a week longer than everybody around us because we needed a week to get this live stream off the ground. And then since then, we've just not ceased to keep working on it and make it better. So go with what you got. I was helping a church across the street from us. Great guys. They got a laptop and a USB camera, webcam that they're doing their service with. And I kind of helped them with a couple of things, and we tweaked some stuff and made that a little bit better. That right now, that's what they can afford. That's what they have. And I applaud them for doing it, not saying, oh, well, we can't have what those guys have across the street. Well, if we'd have thought that way, well, we can't have what the guys across town have. I mean, they've practically got a TV production, but we kept working on it, and I'm really proud of what we do have because it wasn't so much about us. It was about getting the word out, getting the gospel out, and like I said, you guys have learned a lot, and so anybody else out there who's struggling, feel free to reach out because I think these guys would love the opportunity to kind of help walk you through how to get something up and running on your own, at your church or business or whatever else
or just
you
like
may have.
Personal streaming.
Yeah, we're
Maybe
not
you want to play video
but-
games.
Yeah,
we're not opposed to helping anybody.
But you talking about the whole live stream starting thing, it reminds me of the story of how Jam started.
Yeah, right. Yep.
It was the how many piece box of chicken?
14 people and 100-piece box of chicken because obviously I like my chicken.
Inside of a borrowed church.
That's right. We borrowed a building and just went for it. And so here we are 14 years later, still just swinging for the fence,
Yeah,
But,
again, going by the 100-piece box of chicken and 14 people kind of thing. That's what basically we do here.
Right, yes. Eat chicken and do the impossible. But anyway, so I'm gonna leave you guys to it because I don't want to take up any more of your time. I appreciate what you guys have done here and what you're doing with this live stream. Because it's helping people just learn the techie stuff that they don't know where else maybe to go and ask those questions. And so just keep up all the good work. And I don't know where you go from here, but
I have no idea. Zach,
the
help.
segue.
That's my turn to take lead. Well, Randy, we appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us, even though we hijacked your church for the night.
Sorry. You'll put it back together. I'm
So,
sure.
yeah. Well, we only threw off
Yeah, a couple of chairs,
only a couple of
yeah.
Only a
chairs.
couple chairs and turning down this mic, muting that under OBS.
That's all right.
So-
We never used that one. Zach's got the mic of power right there. He probably
Yeah.
feel better wearing it.
I feel a little bit like on top of the world here. But I don't know how I feel about the earpiece. I don't know how it takes some getting used to it. Yeah.
It does. Well, I've got much bigger ears than you, so it fits a little better.
Yeah. So.
And I personally like the small little lapel. It's pretty minimalistic, basically an apple.
Although I will say, somebody told me the other day that it sounds like there's a little bit of a screech, and he's not wrong. We're gonna have to chase that down.
Yeah.
Because I'm using I'm using compression on the board.
Yeah.
And so when you're not talking, it's nice and quiet.
Right.
But when you do, there's this little squeak in the back end. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to figure out what that is. I don't know if it's coming from the actual soundboard or maybe the way that we're processing audio here.
Possibly,
So,
maybe.
I'll look into it here.
We will check her out.
All right, guys.
Well, I was actually going to ask if you wanted to. We're pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah.
We've kind of covered everything.
Well, there you go.
So
this
I
is
was.
the sign off.
This is kind of the sign off, and I didn't know if Pastor Randy wanted to drum solo us out because I thought that would be pretty cool.
Let's hit it,
Lord.
dude. Hit it.
Yeah,
Send
there
it.
you go. All right.
Hang on. Let me get the shot. Hang on.
So while Jake's getting the shot ready, guys, thanks again for coming in and hanging out with us tonight. If you watch live, or thanks for coming back and taking a look. I knew he wouldn't turn that down.
Yeah, right. How could he turn down a drum solo?
So Pastor Randy is a drummer turned pastor, and
Drummer turned pastor. I like it.
and never gives up an opportunity. So thanks again, guys. Remember,
hang on,
join
you
us
were a
on
lot taller than.
than Sam. Hey, join us on TikTok. we're new to that. We're going to do tech tips, as much as we can. Every Thursday, 8:45 Eastern time. We'll see you guys next week.